All right, folks, grab a glass, pour yourself one out, get a beer, toast to Oakland baseball because it is likely over. Welcome to the Ricky Henderson podcast, the greatest of all podcasts, the GUAP. I'm your host, Alex Espinoza, with my co-host, Dr. Hot Dog Hal Gordon.
Not dog.
And so as we're recording this, it's about 6:30 on Wednesday night. Less than an hour ago, the Nevada Senate and Assembly passed Senate Bill SB1, basically approving the A's proposed ballpark in Las Vegas. And all that remains now is Governor Joe Lombardo's signature and the approval of MLB's owners, which seems like a formality. So that's pretty much it for Oakland baseball. It comes against the backdrop of last night's epic reverse boycott. So many emotions going on right now. How you doing, Hal?
Alex, I feel like, man, I feel emotionally tired, man. I think it's not a shock. There's just, this guy's gonna be a fucking asshole. He's gonna be a fucking asshole. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just so proud of all the fans who came out last night and were just so loud, and just watching the highlights and cuts that people have posted on Twitter and stuff. It made me really proud to be part of that fan base. And I think we did literally as much as we could do,
Yeah.
I know that there's, epic things that other fan bases have done to try and save or get back a team and stuff. But I think, if you were going to, I remember watching, when the original like 30 for 30s came out.
Yeah.
One of the, I remember those a lot of those documentaries were so good, especially just that first round, man. And one of them was about the Baltimore Colts marching band.
Mm-hmm.
And about how the Baltimore Colts had this marching band, which was, in many ways they're fan ultras. It seems like people would just learn how to play instruments just so they could be in the band. And they kept marching every year, in all the parades after the Colts left. And sort of about their journey and their attempt to try and get football back to Baltimore. And I think last night's reverse boycott was right up there, right up there with that kind of just epic nature of fans coming together and trying to save their community, or at least, establishing and planting a flag in their community. So, to everyone listening who came or who, were there in spirit, because I know a lot of people were there in spirit as well. Thank you. You did great. You did amazing. Last night will be a night that I, remember for the rest of my life, for a lot of reasons. Yeah. And it was, I'm so glad we didn't pick next week to do the reverse boycott or something,
Dude. Yeah.
So, to the people of Las Vegas who are definitely not listening, good luck with these fuckers, man.
Yeah, the whole thing stinks, man. The whole way it went down just stinks, dude. Like they introduced the bill on May 26th, and here we are on June 14th, and they passed it. They didn't have proper time to vet it. it seemed like that first round of questioning
Yeah.
was kind of maybe just grandstanding. They could be like, oh, we're gonna push back, but then they both passed pretty comfortably,
Yeah, I mean, it's really funny when you think about like how you know how big of posturing they're doing. And they're like, we really want these community benefits like written in stone. They're like, not
$2 million,
one and a half million, $2 million a
$2 million.
year. It's like,
Whoa,
whoa, dude,
well, I
you're
mean,
gonna be able to, you're gonna buy, and they have to have like a formal agreement to host clinics. Okay, man,
and they'll
like, cool,
promote a
dude.
nonprofit of the game. Yeah,
I mean,
they'll have a community
makes
suite though. How they have a community suite?
it makes me fucking sick to just think, that these legislators are just, begging the A's for these crumbs while the A's are just, just taking all the money they can out of their pockets. But whatever. It's not my business anymore. I what I'm gonna do on Saturday and Sunday, I think. Well, I'm not sure yet, but I think I'll probably go to the Roots game.
Yeah,
probably go to the Soul game.
we might
So
have to turn this into an Oakland Roots podcast, dude.
they already got some Oakland Roots podcasts.
Yeah,
so.
I know, dude. They already got some.
So we'd have to. I think we'd have to really brush up. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point, Alex. I don't even know what the future of this podcast is.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, this might be. I mean, I'm gonna be out of commission for a couple weeks, so I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not gonna feel compelled to be like, oh, how's Ryan Noda doing?
No, I couldn't care less. I couldn't. No disrespect to Ryan Noda.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't really give a fuck.
I was thinking the same thing too. Is like I might not go to a game until the final game of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to go maybe again just to like check out all the screws and nuts and bolts on the seats, so I make sure that I bring the right instruments on for the 81st game. But
yeah,
yeah, I don't care. But I'm just so freaking proud of everybody who showed up last night. It was awesome.
Let's talk about last night. Let's keep it a little pop. I mean, let's just celebrate that. I mean, we can't do anything.
I mean, everybody saw it, right? Like, this is what I was telling people. I was like, it's going to be a playoff atmosphere. It's going to be a playoff atmosphere, and I want everybody, who's watching it, who doesn't know what's going on in Oakland, to hear us and just feel that empathy. And there'll be some questions of Rob Manfred, and there's going to be the whatever. But I did jerks. It just feels. I just feel somehow it's bad, but it was really funny that the A's donated all the ticket money.
I was gonna say, like, they donated $811,000, so it's like,
yeah.
Like 3 games worth of gate is what they're proposing for Nevada. I mean, or not even like a game, 2.5 games worth of ticket gate. And
the prices of tickets are going to be way more expensive in Las Vegas than they are even in the Coliseum right now. So it's less than that, but
yeah.
I was, the shirts were great. People really enjoyed that. I think the shirts were awesome because that was the way to sort of sell it to some people about why it's going to be such a cool thing. You could talk about the fan funded giveaway. Another thing that I had sort of worked the shirts, I just helped a little bit with fundraising, but the thing that sort of I had really wanted to wear those cheer cards or those posters that sort of gave the game plan of what we should chant at each different time.
Yeah, there was solidarity. Like my dad was at the game last night, and he he wasn't privy to everything that was going on. He's like, "Whoa, that was so cool!
Yeah.
How it was so organized." And
Yeah, yeah.
he was really struck by the fifth inning thing. That was your idea, right? The fifth inning,
That was my idea.
the silent protest, the first batter.
I'd
Yeah.
heard, I've seen some of that stuff like in European soccer, right? They'll pick a number that is meaningful to them, to the fans, and they'll, so like, if the club was founded in 1908 or something, for the eighth minute they'll stand up and turn their backs, or they'll all whistle as loud as possible. They don't boo there, they whistle,
Yeah.
so they'll do those kind of stuff. Or they won't enter until the eighth minute, or they'll all leave at they'll all leave at the 71st minute or something like that. So that's sort of where that idea came from. And originally when I wrote out the card, I was like, let's have a different chant for each inning, and it was like, no, this is too much. This is too much. And as I started to sit down and try and think of 9 different things to do for each inning, I was like, well, actually, there's only like, I just want, there's really only one message, two messages, that
stay
I
in
want
Oakland, sell the
to
team.
stay and sell, so so we cut back on that, but that was sort of the only thing that I like left in. Was I was like, let's still do that moment of silence. And
you picked the fifth inning because of 55 years of Oakland baseball, right? It was like the
That's
first
right.
batter of the fifth inning, everybody's silent, and then everybody just went
exactly.
nuts. Yeah, it was.
And well, it was really
dude, that
funny.
gave me dude. That was probably my favorite moment. Like, it was.
It was.
I can't describe it, dude. It was so crazy when it was quiet in there, dude.
Looking back, the videos don't even. So the video, if you just listen to the moment of silence on the videos, it doesn't seem as cool as it was in person, because there's there's people murmuring or whatever. But you've never been, I've never really been in that large of a crowd, with that much silence when it's not something announced, when when it's not like everyone stand and hold up, have a moment of silence. I think what was cool about it was a lot of people didn't know it was going to happen, but they immediately understood what was happening. And for the people who knew that was the plan, I don't think everyone knew, okay, are we actually going to do this?
Yeah, there's only 6,000 cheer cards for 20,000, 27,000 people.
A few thousand, I think a lot of people saw it on Twitter, but they didn't have it written down or whatever, right? And so, only so many people sort of had seen it or knew about it. But what was really funny was I was sitting behind one of my old hot dog regulars, and Jerry. And Jerry, the first or about inning 2 to 4, he would turn around and look at my wife and I and he goes, when's the time we're all supposed to stand up and do something? What are we supposed to do? Oh, we're supposed, instead of being loud, we're supposed to be quiet. When is that? Is that now? You got to remind me. You got to remind me. You've given me a chore, and my wife and her friend looked at it and they were like, come on, you came up with this? And I was feeling kind of embarrassed. I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. Were
you kind of worried, it might not play?
Oh, absolutely. I'd almost forgotten about it. Because I was just having a good time being loud, right? Everybody's so loud. And I was like, wait, hold on, we're supposed to be quiet at some point. And I was like, this is gonna be such a flop, and people are gonna be like, well, I guess that didn't work. But so I wasn't even one of the fierce people to stand up. I just saw other people starting to stand up, and people go, and it was so, because you could just it was I I was just feeling tears in my eyes, and also anger, it just felt like the seething anger of you've made us so angry. We're gonna stand here and we're just gonna fucking stand here, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed, and then as soon as that guy in the Rays got the double, Uh,
So the
I
team.
so
So
and that
the
was, I
team.
mean, I don't think I've ever yelled anything louder.
Dude, it
and,
was just
I mean, it's
it's
like,
it's really hard to describe how cool that moment was, dude.
it
Yeah.
was it was ooh. And I'm glad that it came through on TV. I'm disappointed. I know they had to do it. The the A's broadcast. Who is the play-by-play guy now
Vince
on the A's team?
Catronio. Yeah.
Was it Contronio on
Yeah,
the
well,
TV?
he last night he was on the call. You mean like the
Okay,
cotton candy
it
thing?
was it was Contronio. Yeah,
You talking about the
I
cotton candy story that he told about his daughter? Or
yeah, and I
yeah.
was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Just shut up.
No,
Just shut up. You
no.
like, oh, here's a funny story. Like, no,
I mean, he
no,
didn't know. He didn't know what was going on, though. He didn't. Yeah,
maybe he. I should give him the benefit of the doubt in that, like, he has headphones on and he's focusing on the game, but like, you know, it, I know they're just trying. They're protecting their jobs. They're protecting their jobs. Fine, whatever. But I shouldn't be negative because it was so positive.
yeah,
So let me drop that. Forget I even said that. But it did really come through on the TV. Not because it didn't seem like it was that quiet on the TV, and even a video that I took when I was rewatching it, until you heard the volume of when everyone got loud. And I've watched that clip that John Boy clipped and
yeah.
put on Twitter. I've watched it 10 times. That I love this one time. They're because they're trying to find, like, pick fans that don't have signs up. So they're just like, but they still are showing fans, and there's this one fan with a giant foam cowboy hat who's just going,
Yeah,
he's like swinging his arms like
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
like a wild man, like he's like, and it just, oh, so loud. And it's like this epic, that epic thing where, like, when Marshawn Lynch scored that touchdown in the playoffs for the Seahawks, and they're like, it caused an
An
earthquake.
earthquake. Yeah, it registered on the
The
Richter scale.
the pitch com,
Yeah, he couldn't even hear.
the pitch com, he couldn't hear the pitch com. Like, we broke pitch com, man. Uh,
His quote was
and
funny. He was like, "Dude, it was on volume 20, and I still couldn't hear it." And then he thought it was broken, but it's like, no, it was just so loud.
oh, did he say that after
Yeah,
the game?
he was like, "Dude, it was on volume 20. I still couldn't hear it." So yeah, yeah,
I mean, seeing Langolier's face. I mean,
yeah. Langoliers was smiling
I
when he walked to the mound. He knew what was going on. Yeah, yeah,
I truly don't think. I've been saying this too, or thinking it at least, that we may only get 10,000 people for the reverse boycott, but we'll be so loud that it won't matter. And we end up getting 28,000.
yeah.
And I mean, I can't think of another time that I've been at a baseball game. You know what? So, I've been to playoff games, and there is a lot of noise sometimes, people just yelling, but holy moly, that was so cool, coordinated. It was so cool.
Even like the first
So
pitch, like basically right when the first pitch started, like the whole stadium was chanting "Sell the team," and like some of the clips that came out, it's just like amazing, like just
So
the show of solidarity between all those people is like, I can't remember seeing something like that,
it it was extremely bittersweet too, because I was so happy and proud that about everything that A's fans accomplished, and everything the Oakland 68s in the last dive bar, Stu, and just so many other people who just organized and got together and wanted to help and do awesome stuff. I was so proud.
It was just a nonstop
And
party yesterday. I mean, it started in the tailgate. The tailgate was super. It was great. Like, it was so much fun, and then the game. Then even after the game, like the 68s were just drumming in the concourse and stuff like that after the game. Like, they didn't, like, nobody left afterwards. I mean, I know it got
Yeah.
kind of ugly when people started tossing trash onto the field, but like, I mean,
Dude, I've been when I used to vend Cubs games. Whenever people in the bleachers didn't like a strike call, they'd throw shit on the field. So I don't know, man. Maybe the culture is different. That was
well, I
was
think it
like
was.
that was like 15 years ago or 18 years ago. But come on, man. Like
I think people were worried that
it's
the big
fine.
story that today would be that, oh, A's fans trashed the field after reverse boycott, but I don't think that
Nah, I don't think
was.
so either.
I
I don't
mean,
think
it
so
was it
either.
got picked up by everybody. I was talking to my coworker in Dallas, and he said their radio station was talking about it. And like, I know it was like the MLB's, the Athletics MLB newsletter was that. Sports Center ran a feature on it. Like, the A's fans did like literally everything they could do, and like they made their voice heard. But it's just like they just ran out of time, and I mean, just the whole timing
Yeah,
of
I
it.
don't even know if it's run out of time, man. It we just have this situation in this country with sports where if a billionaire wants to do this, there's like nothing anyone can do about it.
Yeah,
And and this hocus pocus quote unquote, economic modeling, industry that comes up with all these bullshit numbers about how it's a genius, economic move to steal people's teams,
I bet Jeremy
whatever.
Aguero got a big bonus today. I mean, he
Oh,
he
oh,
basically he
huge.
basically was the champion of this project and made it happen. And
Yeah, I
and
bet Jeremy Aguero made more money today or yesterday than the Oakland Food Bank or whatever,
yeah, I mean
wherever they
it's
donated the money from. But
and
like,
and I just feel like they just ran with his numbers, which I don't. I
yeah,
mean,
they just ran with
I'm
his
not an
numbers. They didn't.
economist, but it just doesn't add up to me,
They were
dude.
the
Eight
things. The
thousand
things that they
jobs.
were.
Yeah,
The things that they were pushing back on were just the absolute wrong things. That if you were trying to make amendments, you should have been like, we're not gonna, owe you refurbishments in the next 30 years. If you want to refurbish this place, it's on you. So they also bought into that, right? The first class
well,
stadium
well,
thing,
well,
whatever.
that's what's happened with the Milwaukee Brewers, right? Like
Yeah, exactly. They just bought themselves a Milwaukee Brewers situation, and they negotiated really hard for an extra $500,000 a year. Like, congratulations.
yeah, dude. I mean, let me see, because I don't know how old Miller Park is, but let's see here.
It's not that
2001.
old.
So it's
I
20.
remember going to Brewers games at County Stadium. So
Yeah, it's only 22 years old, and
yeah,
Rob
it's not that
Manfred.
old.
Yeah, Manfred
No,
was there
and
recently to kind of campaign that, hey, Wisconsin, you guys need to pony up this place.
I haven't been to Miller Park in about 10 years, but I mean, I don't like, I shouldn't maybe say this on an Oakland A's podcast, but I really like stadiums that are in the city. I don't like stadiums that are like in a giant parking lot. So the one real knock I have against Miller Park is that it's in a parking lot, away from anything. But other than that, like, Miller Park is such a nice place to see a ball game. It's not old, man. Again, I haven't been there for like 10 years, but like,
Yeah, 22
I mean,
years. I mean, that's like
how old
18.
is how old is how
That's
old is
Oracle Park, same year as Oracle
how
Park
old
here.
yeah, how
Yeah,
old is it's the same age as Oracle
yeah,
Park,
pretty
right?
much. Like I think Oracle opened in 2000 or 2001, so
Yeah,
it's
get
same
out of
thing.
here, man. These
Yeah.
anyway, they're just crooks. They're crooks, and there's not much more to say about it. One thing I do want to say is, um, like on a personal note, like so many people came up to me yesterday and gave me a hug or asked for a selfie,
Mhm.
um, and had really kind words to say um about me, and that it really meant the world to me to hear that. So that's I think that's the part for me too personally that's bittersweet, is just like is knowing that uh it's been so much fun. And like, I don't think, I mean, I did not ever expect to be somebody uh who people like everybody knew at a ballpark, or among baseball fans.
Yeah.
And
How long
it's
did you
just
been there
been
for? How many years? Like when did you
right.
start?
I started the first year I started the first Oakland A's game I've ended was opening day 2016, man. So like I haven't even been there for very long.
Yeah.
Um,
So you
so
did
it just
five or six. Well, I guess the pandemic kind of screwed things up, but like 5, 6 seasons,
yeah,
something like
I mean,
that.
yeah, something like that. But I mean, it's been so fun and cool to uh be part of y'all's community. And it's just
Dude,
it's
well, thank
great.
you for everything you did, man. I mean, it's like you basically you were a big part of this too, like you were
Yeah. But
I don't
man,
know, man. Like, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think this
yeah.
shit will go on though. I don't like want to be. I think maybe not as I'm not as sad as I was when they first announced it, because I think I've gone through a lot of the grieving stages already.
Yeah, it's been a
And
few weeks. Yeah.
yeah, and I had so much fun last night. It was so awesome. We did such a great job. It was so cool. But like also, you know, Oakland community is still going to be around. We're going to be around with the roots. And I think that they're going to get, it'd be awesome if they get a WNBA team. Um,
Yeah.
and never say never. Never say never about baseball expansion, because um
That would be
yeah,
weird.
I would.
I can't even imagine like rooting for the Las Vegas Timberwolves ever. Or I mean, excuse me, the Oakland Timberwolves or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
it would just be
it would be weird, but
it would be really
I
weird.
vended a lot. I vended a bunch in Baltimore, and I used to vend. I used to vend almost every Ravens game.
Yeah.
And you know, the only thing that sort of reminds you that they all used to be Colts fans is the statue of Johnny Unitas uh out front, and the fact that when the Colts play, they the public address announcer only refers to them as Indianapolis. Like they like refuse to say the word Colts, and that's it, man, because they all are fucking Ravens fans. And there's like, you'll see like once in a while you'll see somebody wearing like a throwback Johnny Unitas jersey, but like that's like that's like one out of every 1,000 fans or something, so uh it's yeah.
Yeah. So what do you I mean like are you even gonna pay attention to the team the rest of the year? Like what do you feel like I mean, I'm just I don't even know where to go from here, It's like I mean pretty much my entire life, half for 6 months out of the year, I've been following this thing, And
Yeah.
it's like I don't know what to do. I actually don't know. Um I don't know, man. It's like I know it's like inconsequential. It's just a sports team, whatever,
It's
whatever.
not.
But for me, it is like I really care about this thing, and I really loved it. I still love it. I mean, I it just reminds me
Well,
of my family. It reminds me of my
yeah.
friends. Like I don't know, man. I'm still processing this. I know it's been like
I think
even on April
I
19th,
think
I didn't know what to do, but now I'm still
yeah.
processing it, and I don't know, man.
I will encourage I'll encourage, I'll encourage you to look forward to late March 2025, when when the Oakland Roots and Oakland Soul open a new stadium at the Coliseum site. You know, it'll be a temporary stadium, but there'll be like 10,000 seats. I think it'll be 10,000 seats is what they're aiming for.
Mhm.
That, you know, a big 10,000 seat stadium will be rocking.
Just not. I just love baseball, dude. I fucking love baseball,
Yeah.
and it's not even that I love. I just love the A's, dude. You know, it's like I don't. I don't know, man. It's like it just ripped like something major would just rip from me, you know, and I don't.
What sucks about it is it like turns something you love into something you hate, you know? I'm just like
Well, I still
looking,
love the
you know,
A's. I just hate John Fisher, you know.
are you gonna keep watching the A's in Las Vegas when they move to Las
Uh,
Vegas?
Probably not. I mean, not definitely not like this. I mean, I might in passing, just especially the first year, I'm probably just going to be curious to see, you know, what it's like or whatever. But I mean, that's 2028. That's 5 years from now. For all I know,
I don't
I'll be living in a
I
different
don't want to
country.
watch.
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
want to watch. I wouldn't want to watch them because you know they'll have huge crowds like any new team and new stadium. So
yeah,
fuck them.
yeah. Well, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to get off your chest? I don't. I think that's pretty much it. But I don't. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
No, man, I just want to one more time thank everybody who came out last night or who was there, you know, in spirit. I know a lot of people couldn't make
You
it,
said you had
and
people coming. You met people from literally like all over the world, right? Like who came
yeah,
in.
there's somebody from Australia. There was like Denver, New York, um,
Yeah, I saw a guy from North Carolina. Yeah.
Vancouver. Yeah. Um, uh, yeah, dude. I mean,
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Stu Clary for that idea. I mean, on April 10th, when he sent out that tweet initially, nobody had any idea this would be going down. As far as we knew, Vegas wasn't even, I mean, it was a possibility, but that was like 9 days later when they announced the deal. I mean, just
yeah,
the timing of it was crazy. It was crazy how that was like the funeral for Oakland baseball, you know? Like that was the eulogy.
I gotta tell you, Stu, you're real good. You're real good guessing, getting dates
And the Oakland
perfect.
68s too, man. They're incredible at organizing. Shout out to Jorge and Anson and Cass and everybody over there. That
Dude,
was
those guys, the 68s are they're just so cool, man. Like
like there's no
you know
bullshit. Like you know, yeah.
the last dive bar are like those guys are like the school president, you know, like everybody the popular kids.
Yeah.
But like the fucking 68s, they're the guys who sit in the back of the bus smoking cigarettes and just fucking way too cool for everyone else. And uh it has been such a joy to like uh get to know both of those crowds, man.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
Um
I mean, I just want, yeah, just shout out to A's
I
fans, dude. Like, there's no group like A's fans, dude. Like, the creativity here is
yeah,
unmatched. You know, the walkie-talkie
yeah.
bobblehead that Rob made yesterday, like, dude, all the I saw so many funny signs. I couldn't even take photos of. Like, it was just like a sea of amazing signs yesterday. You know, um,
Yeah, dude. And just like seeing how much fun like I wanted to sit behind home plate because I like wanted to you know say hi to a lot of people that I knew and I wanted to like kind of help coordinate cheers in that area because you know the 68s don't need my help at all ever. uh um but just like seeing them from across the stadium, they're having the fucking time of their lives. Beautiful. It was just such a beautiful night,
it
and
was,
and
it was.
I'll remember that, you know, as yeah, that's just gonna be one of my favorite memories, I
Yeah,
think.
I think for me, ultimately, I'm gonna look back at that as my favorite A's game I ever went to in my life. I think.
Yeah,
I mean, I think game
yeah,
162 in 2012 was amazing too, but there's literally nothing that can top the emotion of last night.
Somebody introduced me to their nephew, like 7-year-old nephew, in the parking lot before the game, and he was really shy. And the guy was like, oh, it's like, I was trying to tell my nephew about like why it's so great being an A's fan, like, or what do you why is it so great to be an A's fan, or like what should you tell the, like, what you do have anything to tell this kid? And I said some things that I've said a bunch on the pod about all the fans and about how special it is and stuff. But I just said, what, hey, in 10 years or 15 years, you're gonna tell people I was at the reverse boycott game, and you're either gonna tell it as a story, about like, man, I was at this game, it was wild, or you're going to like meet somebody who also was at this game. So like, remember it. It'll be such a cool memory. So Yep.
All right. Well, thanks, Hal. We're gonna have to take the next couple of weeks off. I'm gonna be out of commission. But yeah, we'll see what the future of the podcast is like. Honestly, I don't know. For all I know, this could be the last episode. I know we have a contract with Belief, but what are they gonna do?
I think they're gonna understand. And I also don't think we're pulling down numbers that they're going to really care
I don't
about.
even think they would honestly notice if we just stopped. But hey, I'm still waiting for that first revenue check.
Hey, and if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe and turn the notification bell on. Even though this may be our final episode, please subscribe. Okay. Please subscribe. Just be nice about it. Subscribe. I see you watching it without subscribing. Okay.
All right. Well, Hal,
oh my God. All right. Well, Alex, thank you so much for letting me on your podcast. Good luck with your
dude, you
health
changed
procedure.
the pod. You made it so much better. It's been so much fun to pod with you, dude. And
yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
You made it so much better, dude. The podcast's so much better with you on it. Thanks for everything you did for the A's community over the past few years, man. Like, you really are a special person for the Coliseum, and you'll go down as a Coliseum legend, man. Especially with everything you've done in the past year, or in the past few months while you've not been there, like an employee. Like, it's been really
I've been like a lot of times people say like, oh, I really miss you vending, and I'm like, yeah, I do too. But I also don't think I could have gotten nearly involved with this shit.
Yeah.
Had I been vending there, so I probably would have ended up quitting anyway. So I could do it. So whatever. Whatever, man. Anyway, love you guys. Love you, Alex. Good luck with your health procedure. I'm sure we'll check in again on the podcast, but it might not be for a while.
Yeah, it might not be for a while. So all right, Hal. Thanks, man. That was a great pod. Thank you very much. That was great to see you last night, man.
Yeah. Rip Oakland A's.
Yeah, RIP to Oakland baseball.